Okay, we're in the second or third phase of the fish tank. As you can tell, I've drained it so that there's next to no water inside. The goldfish are inside of that blue container. You can kind of see them swimming around. And I actually took out all that water just for these two plants. These are my red Rubens. They're Aconitis or whatever they're called. They are these Amazon sword hybrids, and what I want to do is I want to go plant this into here, but the problem is that you can tell by that mucky goo needs to go in with them, and if I put it in with a full tank, it's just going to create a mess. So I drained these two, and now I'm going to go try and put the plants inside. So we're going to see how it looks and do all that stuff together. As you can tell, now my biofilter seems to have fallen apart, so I'm going to have to go fix that too. Anywho, you can see everything's a little bit stirred up, but not nearly as bad as the first time I put it in. So we're looking for another 2 days before everything kind of clears up. You can see there the Rubens planted in there. There's one, there's the other one. I figure I put them in the mid-ground as like the focal point of the tank, but we'll see. If they grow too big, we can always just move them. Tank with the whole crew inside. You can see some of the fish I've had for a while, and if you see the earlier videos, you can see them. That one that was posted with that Marty McFly fish, there he is right there. You can tell he's lost his black. He's now that dark orangey kind of color. And that one too was that one that I bought in the same video. So you can see how much they've grown in the last 3 or 4 years. They're all together. You can see the little fish have survived with some of the larger fish. And you can just see how the tanks kind of come out in general. I planted those red Rubens and they seem to be doing quite well. You can see them growing right there. And I'll just zoom in. You can see the Oranda has some white spots and growth on his head. There they are. So his head's getting bigger and healthier. This is Bruiser, just another large shabunkin that I've kept, and he's managed to survive. That's a Ryukin that I picked up. It was in the fancy tail bin by accident. I guess someone had thought that it was a fancy tail, but I spotted it right away, and you can tell he's doing pretty good. I bought him. He was about the same size as those other little ones. I'm trying to see, is there anything else? Yeah, there's like a nice fancy tail in the back with a nice orange crown. I picked him up on the cheap too. I think he was like $1 or something. All these fish were gotten at some kind of discount or another. I know that, you know, you end up getting what you pay for, but I mean, if all you really want are a bunch of cool goldfish to swim around your tank, you know, each one of these are all purchased. Of course, you buy them when they're small and they, you know, you get to grow with them as they're growing too, and you know, you get a nice, interesting kind of collection of fish. So this is kind of what the fish tank looks like now, and I'm going to do a couple other little experiments with filters and stuff like that, but the moving bed filter's just chugging along back there. Got a wider hyacinth. I don't know if it's going to last. And they're basically all waiting to be fed, which is some nice bean paste. Basically all I did was grind up a bunch of runner beans that I had at the house. So I'm going to go drop those in, and maybe I'll videotape them eating it too. Oh, and where is it? I picked up some mystery snails, or apple snails too. So I have a white one, a yellow one, and an orange one. All I can see is that white one right now, but they're around somewhere. So here's the fish tank in its current state. The white container is a moving bed filter, and you see it just slowly, ever so slowly, just churning those straws around, and it's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing. It's just moving the filtration. And on the back, that blue window that you see with the bubbles and green things poking out the top and the sides of it is a Java fern sponge filter, and basically all of those holes have Java fern shoved in on sponge, and what I'm hoping to do is to have the fern grow inside of the sponge, so the sponge collects the waste and the fern lives off the waste, and it's its own little system. I'm going to see how well that works. And yeah, and the little fishies are having a great old time in there. And with the aquascaping, and if I didn't have that water hyacinth, it would look so much better, but at the same time, they like it, so I'm doing it for them, and everyone seems quite happy. So that's the whole kit and caboodle, from the humble beginnings all the way to this. I'll try and keep people posted and updated, and for anyone that's still interested, I'll just zoom in on some of the fish. There's the one-eyed fish. I know I'm a little obsessed with him, but he's my Cyclops. I think he's the coolest fish out of all of them. I have high hopes for that guy. Brainfish, Mr. Chubbykins, he's been around for a while. That big one's Bruiser, he's a Shabunkin. Who else we got back here? That Comet is Marty, the Walmart purchased fish for like 9 cents. That is a fancy tail that I bought for a class that I had when I was teaching grade 2. So that's about 2 years old. That one's about 4. That one's about 2. And those are the little guys that I just got. It's kind of like little Dalmatian-y kind of ones. That's the Ryukin that I got, and he's as old as the brown one. That common goldfish was just originally one of the second batches of fish that I bought. He actually jumped out of a fish tank while I was at school. That orange fancy tail was one of the ones that I bought as well in the batch for the classroom that somehow survived. That's pretty much all of them. And, yeah, that's one of the ones from the classroom too. Everyone's happy. I wish the mystery snails were out, or the apple snails, but every time I seem to film, I can never find them. So here's a close-up of the Java fern one. You can see the Java ferns just stuck everywhere. That's not gross sponges, that's just Java fern stuck in there. And then here, that's the moving bed filter a little bit closer. So you can see everything's always turning in there. I'm going to see if I can find some snails. No, I don't see any. That's it. The other one. And yeah, see those things growing out of the bottom? I picked those up out of Georgian Bay. They're just some invasive species that have grown here in Canada. And they're just growing in there too. Don't know what that is. There you go.